Okay, the mic is on. And live on the air. Welcome everyone. Haiku Monthly again. We're back. Breaking news. Okay. Who am I? I'm Brad Nelson. So, yeah, here with Haiku Monthly. Don't touch that dial. We have fun TVs that are going slowly and bringing my machine to a halt. Okay. We had this fun submission. The TV from last month in color. And it's that time again. Somebody put the clock in. So an update from last time. As you'll recall, we had a large amount of spam striking the Haiku site, and they didn't give up, at least not for a good long time. But the wall has held. I didn't get any spam that actually made it through, as far as I can tell. So I'm happy. Hopefully that means I won't have to fiddle with the spam filter for a while. It doesn't mean they gave up. They continue to submit the same crazy haikus. The one thing I noticed glancing at the logs is that they seem to have attempted to be a little bit more realistic about the kinds of names that they post in the spam flood. But it is what it is.
It's spelled throat warbler bagroad, but it's pronounced snip.
Indeed. So, but for how long? I'm sure they'll get smarter and then I'll have a problem. So now, wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, and we have this left-right haiku. Came in, and come on. Click. Oh, there we go. And it does the left and right. Yeah. It seems to have made good use of primes or something there.
Something's out of phase.
Indeed. All right. Anyhow, moving on. So welcome to some Greenhorn Haikuers. We had a bunch of folks that, or at least names that I didn't recognize. Maybe they've been submitting for a long time. We have someone named PLC, apparently, who submitted Time Colors 2, which looks like this. Okay. We have Charlie, whoever Charlie is, who did this. Oh. Hey, Charlie. We have Orangus, who created something called Red Eyes that I actually found this kind of stunning at the first time I saw it, because watch for it. The lighting here doesn't do it credit. Can I turn these down? No, I can't turn that down. Anyways, it's little glowing eyes and they pop. So, Red Eyes. Cool. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. I'm not even sure this really is a name. I'm a little skeptical, but.
That looks Dutch.
Dutch. Okay. Dutch name. I stand corrected. It may be a name.
We have lots of vowels in Dutch.
That is a lot of vowels.
Eyes did magic.
So as I warned, things are lurching to a halt. Come on. Stuck halfway. So he modified one of the Sierpinski things and doubled up the vowels there too, because apparently that's how he rolls. And it looks like this. Wow. So last month, we had a visitor from Taiwan, Chen Swan, I'm going to say that wrong. And he basically brought the Haiku Fund back to some folks in Taiwan, including this fellow and this guy, who I'm guessing by the fact that their first two names are the same, they may be brothers or relations of some sort. Wow. Come on. And it all started with the letter B. I gave Chen a little demo. We made this haiku sitting together twice. It looks like that. I made a bump for him, and then he wanted to have me do the bump twice, which is a little harder with a haiku than it would be with something more sort of imperative direct in terms of drawing. Come on. Apologize, the slides are overloaded. I've tried in the slide deck to do some mitigations where it's not loading them all sort of too aggressively, but apparently I have failed. Come on. Oh.
Are all these sort of running at once?
There's not all of them, but a window of them. And so from there, it grows. He submitted this. One of the first things he did was tested that my Unicode support is good, and it is. I've escaped everything well or whatever. And you'll see that he's, this one he hasn't included any Chinese characters in the actual haiku text, but he amplified the same effect. So that was nice. Come on. You can't have the snappy presentation if the slides are not snappy. Come on. Gotta get a new laptop. Okay. Come on. Produced a garden, although that's a very abstract garden. And he squared the circle. Or, well, something. He made a square. Wow. The blinking's weird. Oh, I see what's going on. Do I want to translate this page into Chinese? No. Nope. No. There we go. Google is being helpful. And spooky things become spookier. Come on. He modified the green eyes, and you'll see he actually has used some Chinese characters as a character for bright, apparently, in haiku itself. And that apparently works too, which I'm a little shocked by. And yeah, so he took the glowing eyes and made them green and gave it a little nose. Okay, and disco begets more disco. He took one of the popular disco haikus on there and did this. I shine the light back at them. Come on. I called this end lighting for some reason. I don't recall. Which that really doesn't do. Anyways. Anyways, pigment. red, yellow, and blue, which was a little bit subtle to achieve, given it's done in RGB. But yeah, it does kind of. And soon, colorful things happen. I got this rather psychedelic submission. And Pong acquired some color, because that's what Pong needs. Come on. And more color, because we need RGB Pong. And then it just got weird. Wait for it to come around. You see, it's got the ball. The ball is the very.
Is it playing the game?
It's the. It's definitely different. And space itself begins to warp. We got this weird deformation going on here. And folded on itself. And the structure of the universe is cut open. Triangle in there. And there we go. I feather like this. You see the two sort of superimposed. So you see the deformation and the fractal in there as well. And yin and yang achieve symbiosis. I'm guessing some balance between red and blue and something here. Yeah. Pac-Man gets hungrier. He's eating even more dots is the difference between this and the other one, which is a nice embellishment. Previously, the dots were more widely spaced. And then he tries recreational drugs. And goes on a magical journey. Beautiful splotches of something. Monsters attack. One of Ting's friends. Or is it a crab? No, it's an alien. So this one's surprisingly exotic given the size. I like how it sort of lingers at there's a moment where it gets right there. And it's just strangely intentional given. Yes. Or a turple. I don't know why I called this a turple, but anyways, what's a turple? Send in Luigi. Yeah. Apparently very easy to take one of the Mario, the Luigi-derived ones and do weird things with it. So I had to reply with Mario. Ah, it's dead. And calm ripples in a pond. And this was fun. A field full of flowers. It's interesting because this one was originally a very nice little one that's just a flower in the center, and he's sort of panning around in it, but you'll notice that it does seem to be continuous in its motion. I don't think it's looping around. Order is restored. There are three primary colors. Kind of a fun illustration of that. Or only three are primary. Somebody had fun with more warping. Actually, Dark Star in particular. Or is it four primary colors? Gotta have some alpha. So RGB and alpha. Slicing out the silhouettes of the Ting triggers a daisy chain. He starts with a whirl. He did this one, triangle wave, which nurtures a flower. So he took it and wrapped it around, added some temporal whatnot. Watch when it starts here. It's kind of fun.
If you let this run, it just
He resets at some point. See, watch the early stages are particularly nice. How it kind of. Oh, don't get stuck on me now. That's a nice place to stop for a moment. Come on. Need to work on batching the haikus better, but then I would have to fiddle with the strange slide framework, which I still owe you a talk on. Talk on the slide framework. Come on, come on.
Just free time, right?
Yes, exactly. There we go. No, there it goes. Okay. Move on before it gets stuck. And here's another version you'll notice. In this one, the petals are a little more shaped. And one of Ting's friends makes this variation. And makes it glow. Castanets. A grid of some sort. And cast it wider. Come on. There we go. It's amazing what you can do with warping or something. Yes, indeed. And catch a star. And I have no idea why this one is Zen acne, but apparently.
Yes, the Eastern religions have that disease too.
It's a nice little flow, though. Okay, come on. Oh. Come on. It's stuck. Yep. It's trying. Turning the ship. Okay, need a new laptop.
Different batches, just showing them 10 at a time.
Yeah, I think I'm doing well. So the problem is that I'm fighting. I've got like a view where I can do like a slideshow of a group of like 40 of them, and it works just fine. So I think what's going on here is that I'm squeezing this in with this slide framework that I use, and I'm fighting against what the slide framework wants to do in terms of what's running when. So.
Where's your model? Locally or net?
Locally, because they've all downloaded. So it's just a matter of it's trying to bring too many of them up at the same time, right?
So your CPU
Yeah.
is the
There is a little moment when you first load where it actually is waiting to download them separately, which one unfortunate thing is that for each haiku, it has one request to the server. So it's each of the ones in this presentation is getting downloaded when the slide deck loads, but it's not that bad. I mean,
they're not big.
they're not that, no, they're tiny, in fact, right? It's just the text. So this one takes a little wait to get zoomed in here, and you'll see why the name makes some sense. Come on, zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, even more. Whoa! Here's that spiral, and back out again. So. Anyhow, star tunnel. One of Ting's friends has modified this thing to invert the direction of the walls, which is nice and fun. And I'm impressed because I'm not sure I would have known the right place to poke in that particular haiku to do that. And I gave J.E. Forth a try. And produced a sort of haiku-like thing. This is my submission, and thanks to Google Translate, I made some copious use of Chinese. This is a built-in word in JE Forth, a clean canvas, and then there's this arc word, which was the easiest one for me to pluck out. And so from that, I made a ball, and from the ball, I made a chain. From the chain, I made a pile, and it looks like that. So, special thanks to our Taiwanese friends with all their lovely haiku submissions. Hopefully we have lit a fire in them, and they'll continue to submit. Middle. Whoa, come back! Come on. And they did this one. This is the ideogram for middle and kingdom. What's that? Yes.
Next step might be taking outside input. And I was thinking of music, and you can have
So to feed the haiku from the sounds. Yeah, no, I definitely thought about it. One of the big things that's kept me from going there a little bit is concerned about, then I have to host all the crap people upload, but it's a thought. So what some mm-hmm. Mm.
The other thing I was thinking of, which you were sort of alluding to, is you can have a comic book where each frame is a haiku, and you can see, you can tell a story.
Yeah, no, that's actually, yeah, I do wonder if it could sort of fuse them together in some concerted way. The in terms of the input, what I have seen a few, so since the time that I did this, and maybe they predated the haikus, there are a few sites that let you put up various shader experiments, and some of those sites do allow some kinds of input of the sort you're describing. The way they solve the problem of users uploading a lot of junk is that they say, here's a library of 20 things, and then go and use these. That's the typical pattern. But then you're then what you start seeing is like everybody uses this one, soundtrack or this one texture or so. But, something to consider.
The other thing I was thinking of is that you can have a game where you match the code to the haiku.
Ah, that's cute.
See how good your powers of interpretation are.
That's actually kind of a cute idea. Wonder how people would do. Cool.
Of course, they would just run code.
Yeah. More questions?
Very, very creative. Very creative.
Thank you.
It's just science. It's just amazing how you can describe something that's very complex and abstract.
Yeah. No, I've been a friend of mine at work actually for work has actually been producing a little demo where he takes he actually does something similar where he takes code and generates a little shader pattern, and it's been amazing. The language he's using as input is this prototype for a format we're working on. It's a C-like language, and it's amazing how much more verbose even very simple ones are in this form. It's just like something like a spiral is like huge, and then yeah. So, anyways. The brevity of it is something I love.
Have you seen anybody trying to hack in to get behind it?
Well, so I have seen a few. There's a I forget if I mentioned this previously. So there are a couple of haikus that are, aside from the sort of usual spam thing where they're trying to get their URL to be visible, there are ones where they're trying different data patterns, I think, to see if they can break out of my escaping and run code instead of just the thing that surprised me actually is that the ones that I saw looked like they were trying to attack the server side. They were not actually going after the other sort of avenue, which is that you could try to escape from the haiku to JavaScript, right, and run stuff in the browser of someone viewing it. I'm guessing it's because there's relatively little to gain from that, but I believe I've got everything fully escaped, so I don't think. Yeah, and assuming a lot of this is somebody's just trying some boilerplate set of patterns that, in the past is, you're all familiar with drop tables, right? Have you? You got it.
There was a cartoon some long time ago. Top 10, as you call it.
Anyhow,
Go to the platform most recently.
is this the bit? That? Uh-oh, I haven't seen this one.
Keep scrolling down. Number E on guest 667C.
Draft table. Okay. Indeed.
Oh, yes.
It's a callback.
I got my SQL.
Cool.
Well, a semicolon that threw me. I was looking for a colon.
More questions? Welcome new faces in the audience. Hello. Hi, Matt. Nice to meet you, Matt.
I'm Alex, and I'm happy to meet everyone here.
No?
Welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. You can see what Ford does to a person. Turns them old. Turns them old Fords.
Nowadays, it's all over.
This is what you get to look forward to.
Well, what do you want to do for an hour?
Yeah, we had a kind of a thin thing. I apologize. I would have liked to do a more extensive something or other, but that was. It is what it is. It's always nice when other people submit the haikus and then I have a presentation out of them.
Yeah.
Do we have power strips?
Yes, we do.
Good.
It'll be a small charge.
Well, I've got a firecracker. Where do you want it stuck?
I got your link.
You've chosen a slightly sparse meeting for your first time to attend. Not a lot on the agenda, I'm afraid.
No,
I've got the mic still on.
Watch out,
There we've got volume. So on the screen, so someplace in here, and I don't think that reaches. No. But anyways, this is a Zotac computer. Some of the Pico computers that are coming out, that they're just small little dinky computers about the size of a Raspberry Pi, which we'll get into Pi in the afternoon. This one happens to be a Windows computer, running ARM, no fan, no nothing, no battery, which is an interesting problem. When you have no battery and you pull a plug on a Windows computer, it'll typically kill itself. You might get it away with it on a random time, but eventually it will kill. Whereas a Linux, which is the Pi, I've noticed has gotten very good at being able to pull plugs anytime, which is interesting that they've managed to accomplish that one. I would bet that they corrupt the file system sometimes, but then they recover. And, oh, okay.
Did they put like a little battery in that's good for a minute that would allow
Why?
it to gracefully shut itself down?
Why? Then you'd have to have software that gracefully shuts itself down. And how many times have you done that on? How many times have you told your Windows computer to shut down and it doesn't? Correct. But you have to be there. It is not something you can automate.
I have when my kids were young and I wanted to turn off the computer that they were using because it was bedtime, I had a program from my computer that would send a message to their computer that would tell it, okay, shut down now, and it would. And it would
Yes. Okay. Yes. 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 You can do that far.
To shut down regardless.
Most cases.
It was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. So with these small computers, you need two basic ingredients. One is a keyboard. And this one happens to have included Wi-Fi, so you could probably, Wi-Fi and I believe Bluetooth, so you can probably do a Bluetooth keyboard or something like that. But I liked wire, especially when in this situation. Now, I've been doing a lot of testing situations. This is my personal Zotac that I bought after I bought got the company to buy a Zotac, company that I'm working with. I'm using it as a tester. It's a nice little dinky tester. And if you've heard of Jenkins, is continuous integration. It's popular. Almost all builds are run with Jenkins these days. And it's a continuous integration system that allows you to do testing and builds. It's a nice system. It's complicated as hell, but it's a nice system. It's nice when it works. And somebody noticed that my time's off. It's interesting that it shows that.
Tomorrow, it's in the future.
It's in the future. Wow, very interesting. I don't know how it accomplished that one.
Or it's many years in the past.
We don't know year.
Well, they're new buildings. So it can't be too long ago.
But this is, are we doing anything? Is this going to do anything? There we go. Oh, interesting. Which password do I have to have? That one. Okay. Yeah. That's Bing desktop and Windows foreground. But the interesting piece here is first there, you have to do, yeah, go visitor. And now that's the piece that I have no clue how to do that remotely. Turn that piece, I'm sure there's a way to turn on that checkbox remotely, but I haven't found it yet. And this merely gets me on the net, and now this screen. I have no clue how to get around this screen remotely without a GUI. This takes a GUI. You have to do a GUI. And can you?
I cannot.
Hmm? I don't know. You can't automate it. Oh, you can, but you've got to have permission to the network provider, basically. Yes, it is a pain in the ass, is the bottom line.
Perl, you can click boxes if they're always at the same place.
That may be. That may be. And in fact, I could probably do that with AutoIt.
Do this. There's a program called PackTrack that does this on the FedEx website.
Okay.
It fills out the form for you with your number, your tracking number, and it launches their tracking information.
Right. And
no cooperation from FedEx.
And now I am online. And in fact, we can, I don't know if I can show this.
Wallpaper, is that
Oh.
Bolt stores?
I had to look this morning too, because it changes daily. This is Bing. This is Bing. And where do we want to do, what do we have? I'm not sure if I can show you that, where it is, because I haven't set this guy, haven't put in Bing desktop on this computer.
Just out of curiosity, if you don't tell us.
On my real laptop, I have installed Bing desktop, and there I can tell you what this is a, let me get up there, hang on. What this is a, and they're taking too long to show me over here. It's a tomato leaf.
What?
A tomato leaf.
Tomato leaf.
Surface of a tomato leaf.
Never guessed that.
Right. Join the club. It's the surface of a tomato leaf. After that non sequitur, from my computer over here now, I can, now that I'm on the net, I can use TeamViewer. I use TeamViewer a lot. There's basically three TEAM viewer, VIEWER. There's three ways that I use to connect to remote computers. One is remote desktop, because I tend to use Windows a lot. But you have to have a Pro Windows for it to be accessible, usable. You have to have Pro. You can't have Home or any of the other ones. And this is, in this Zotac, this is Windows Basic, which has nothing. They give this almost away for free. So that's one. I didn't have that choice here. This TeamViewer is another one that I use. And what I like about this one is that it is a remote site that keeps track of my computers and when they're logged on. And so I don't need to know that guy's IP address to find him. The website finds it. And so now I can click into probably yeah, there it's connecting, and now I'm connected. And I don't know if I can affect that screen. It should, there it goes blank. TeamViewer, to try to save bandwidth, removes the desktop picture. And that's cute. And I should probably, while I'm talking here, share that screen. And that is that screen. So there, for you folks online, is Zotac. Another user, actually the same user. And so the two don't talk to each other, but it's a form of VNC, which is the third option I use. The real VNC, B as in victory, N as in Nancy, C as in Charlie.
Virtual network crapola?
VNC has been around for a long time.
What does it stand for?
Virtual network connection,
Okay, thank you.
I believe, is.
Sounds right.
I think that's.
Sure. Well,
I think that's what VNC
it's
is.
plausible. Let's go with it.
Let's go with it. And in that case, we can now talk to, I believe, well, no, this won't work because this one, VNC is actually looking for the IP address. And no, it's not there because it's a different IP here. So with Real VNC, I've got to know the IP address. With TeamViewer, I don't, which is nice. Now we can switch, stop sharing, and go back to what we were viewing, which is this screen. What else do we want to know? Any questions?
What version of what is it for? What are some example applications?
What I use them for, what I'm going to end up using this guy for at work. Well, at home, what we're using this for right now, I got this for my wife. It's a full Windows computer, and we can do Quicken because she switched to this computer, which is a Surface RT, which is an ARM, which doesn't run Quicken. It's a Windows computer that doesn't run Windows programs. It doesn't run Intel programs, to be specific, and programs that are not from Microsoft Store. Quicken's not in Microsoft Store. And they do have some things in the store that only run on Intel machines, that don't run on ARM. But she likes it pretty much because she can have it anywhere. It's nice and small, and it's not tough to maintain. It's a restoring when one of these computers crashes, and even my big computer, if it crashes and I've got to rebuild, that takes a few minutes, half an hour to rebuild. That's lovely. For a Windows computer, that's lovely. And you have the same thing with these ARM, they've removed the RT name and called the other ones Pro, which is just weird. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
What version of Windows is on that box?
This is Windows 8.1 Basic, which is an interesting version of Windows.
What's the street price of one of
The entire computer costs $150.
Is it plausible to say if I want to put a video from my computer, streaming into my computer, and I want to put it up on the big screen TV in my house, it's a reasonably priced set-top box?
I can't say that it won't glitch every so often. Because.
Can you say that about Eddie?
Correct. Correct. It is an ARM computer. No, this one isn't ARM. This one is an Atom computer. It's an Atom, so it's a little underpowered. It doesn't have much RAM, but it has a card slot. Well, it doesn't have much RAM or disk space, but it has an SD card slot for more disk space.
A mini SD.
A mini SD, yes. So you've got storage, some computing power. It's not as fast as your laptop.
So, how are you looking it up for power? Is it
Through a wall wart.
Okay.
It's a wall wart system.
Battery to get power to the. No, you couldn't do it with USB, but yeah.
You can't do it through USB. Windows computers don't do that. Don't. You take, they are not USB slaves that will take power off of USB.
Those tablets do.
Most tablets do.
What voltage do you need power?
It's a 5-volt power supply at 3 amps.
Okay.
So does it start to glow?
It does get warm.
That's 50 watts, which in the small little box like that business is nothing to sneeze at.
Correct. And they don't recommend you use anything but theirs, obviously.
Yeah.
At 3 amps,
You have to bolt it to a 3-pound chuck with fins.
to keep it cool, I'm not sure how I'm going to keep the thing cool. You basically don't run.
Get anywhere close.
No, just don't run a lot of program. Don't stress. If you run video, this is why I'm mentioning that. If you run video on it, this thing's going to get hot. It's going to get real hot.
I have the expectation that there's a little thermal throttle in there.
Yes.
We would hope.
Throttling is big.
Yes.
Power throttling is big.
Well,
Like an arm.
and most computers these days, except for ARMs, have throttling. They have to. ARMs don't do it a lot.
Arms, because I worked on an arm that had power control, all the major things.
You can do that, and the larger ARMs do. ARM M0.
Oh, no, not
Well, this guy, I'll bet there's no throttling on a Raspberry Pi. Well, yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not sure that I've got anything in here that would play a video that I know of reliably. I'm sure there's something that I could find if I...
Oh, boy.
Oh yes, I've reserved.
Are they going to be handing out free discs? Probably not.
So here's some, that's probably close enough to animation, to videos. It'll work, it'll do most things. Now, why you want to do it? Just to have multiple computers that aren't all bound to this guy.
Right.
that I can put on a Jenkins build as a slave on a Jenkins server, and run testing as a slave. And that's why to have it. And you don't need a display. You do need a display to get yourself up onto the net, as I showed. That's hard. But once you're on the net, you take the display away and use VNC or TeamViewer or remote desktop. This will probably fit Pro, but you'd have to put Pro on to get Windows remote desktop.
The Intel app, that's ARM-based?
No, Atom is Intel.
I mean, it's actually like i386.
I don't know where it comes out of, what its genealogy is.
I'd love to see Linux on it. I just have to, like you say, just build dedicated servers.
Yeah, yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
You know, that would be great.
I can,
Who makes this thing?
Zotac. Zotac is the name of the company. This is the Pico. Let's go up. Let's go find this. Get up there. There's Zotac. And there have been a lot of companies making embedded computers for a while, but they're all expensive. I don't know where this is at the moment. Where is it?
Are they married to Microsoft?
I don't know. I don't know. It's got to be here someplace. Where is their search? Okay, fine. Pico. Pico. There's the Pico. For $150.
Does it have a little get Windows 10 icon?
Yes. No. As soon as you register your Windows box, they'll send you an email saying it's time to reserve. Although we're running, it's only 4 more days, and they're going to start pumping.
They said that's going to be the last version of Windows.
Yeah.
Last
Because they'll do software updates from then.
Well,
Yes.
they'll not only do them, you can't turn them off.
Oh,
You
interesting.
know, regular Windows, up until 10, you can say, I'll get them later after you figure out how to not brick my computer.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
They haven't bricked my computer in many years now.
Yes. They overdo that. I worked for a company.
What would do that? Oh, I had to rebuild. Rebuild these guys. As I said, I can do it in a couple hours and get back up and running.
Just the
Operating system and what they call Metro and their store apps all come back automatically. It's all the other stuff that you install that doesn't come back. You have to reinstall. They're nice toys, to answer your question. They're nice toys.
This thing, you're referring to this?
Yeah, this is a nice toy. Raspberry Pi is a nice toy. I'll talk more about Pi. Pi is a more interesting toy. Windows, we know what we can do with Windows. I mean, it's what can't you do with Windows?
I should mention that Stanford is going to be using Office 365
Yes.
for its email in the cloud.
Yeah, I'm using Office 365.
And I talk on that yesterday. It's pretty good.
It's not, I haven't used it with Office Desktop, so I don't know how that works. But yes, you can go up to the cloud and edit any doc,
That's right.
any Excel spreadsheet, or any of the Windows apps, Office apps on the cloud.
Yeah, but their cloud email app is really nice too. And the most impressive thing is moving 30,000 users from Zimbra to Office 365 in the next month.
I suspect they will win, that Microsoft will win that game. From what I've seen, it's very nice. It's like $7 a month that I pay to belong to 365 at the basic level, which ain't bad. I was paying that more than that to just stay up with Office.
Office cost me $20 for a professional office with a database. The downside is it was an old one,
Yes.
and I got a DVD in the mail, so I own
Yes.
the DVD, and it can
Yes.
almost work until Microsoft decides to stop activating.
Correct. Which they keep threatening.
Fine, now if they do that, I will go back to my previous version, which is the one that doesn't activate.
Right.
Use that.
Right.
The problem that I have is that everybody uses Office, and Open Office is sort of almost different.
And not quite. It will the worst part about Open Office is that you'll corrupt your document. And
The worst part about Open Office,
same problem. If you use both Open Office or LibreOffice, either one, I don't care, and Office, your document will eventually grow bad.
Okay, so you're talking about the .docx version.
I've had the problem on both.
That's why I stuck with RTF.
RTF, you will not corrupt an RTF. It's real hard to corrupt an RTF. Yeah.
And even OD, was it OD?
Oh, no, not ODB. It's ODT. ODT? Yeah, I've seen that too.
What's happening is,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and usually what happens if I get a headhunter that says, oh, we don't handle RTF, we can. I said, thanks.
Yes.
Just go to Zimbra or whatever you want.
Right. That's the easiest way.
So these are basically called pocketable mini PCs.
Yes.
So do you think
There used to be the ultra portable, which were the handhelds that way overpriced, and that's what these remind me of, except for that you don't have a screen. Those had a screen. Now this is the extension of the tablet.
yeah, because I can really see something like this, especially in a test environment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Stuff like that in Windows. The place where I'm at, they're having the same problem with Windows. And let me tell you, trying to run Jenkins under Windows.
It's fun. It's what I'm doing. It's my nightmare these days.
And I keep saying, well, let's do Linux. They said, well, we're trying to. And I said,
The problem I have with Windows right now is IAR is one. IAR compiler. IAR is probably the most popular commercial compiler for microcomputers. IAR. IAR. I don't remember what IAR stands for, but they make proprietary compilers as opposed to the GNU compiler chain. And they do the same, except for one's proprietary, one's open source. So I've got a lot of IAR compiler stuff, plus the flashing capability of flashing a target CPU is not as easy on Linux as it is on Windows. J-Link from Sager, PE Micro make very good boxes for flashing computers and debugging computers, microcomputers. JTAG. Tag interface, Windows has one. Linux is not quite there. So, yeah. Any other questions? This is just what I had this morning, or what I started with a while ago, is I showed 3 computers. My desktop computer, this guy, and a Raspberry Pi all on the same screen. And that's cool. I like doing that. I like having one computer that I'm familiar with that I can run all the computers I have to deal with. That's nice.
If you wanted to give Grandma a box to hang out or Skype, it says HDMI out.
Yeah.
I assume
I would tend to go here. In fact, I don't want to call my wife Grandma, but my wife uses me as tech support. Yes.
drive a big screen TV?
Yeah.
Has a camera?
This has HDMI output. It has camera. It has battery.
How much is that though?
500.
Yeah, I like the 150 more.
I agree.
If you had a good camera, sound in, or is that some other box?
There's an audio in. There's audio in. There are 3 USB ports and a Ethernet port. The Ethernet port is the key that I wanted. There is another box that Intel makes. I can't remember where to find it right now, but they have a small Windows computer on a small box too. Yeah, I can't remember. Now, I have also heard that Windows 10 will run on a Raspberry Pi.
Is there enough stuff in the Raspberry Pi to run Windows? How much RAM is there?
Yes, yes. ARM version. The ARM version of Windows.
Yeah, I understand that part, but how much RAM is on the Raspberry Pi?
I can't remember.
They're making an ARM version of Windows 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now that they have ARM version, now that they have the ARM version, you better believe it's going to go small. And Raspberry Pi is about as small as you can go and put a real OS on it.
Servers now, they're using what, the 859, I think that's what it is. Yes, but it's got like, what? I don't know, it's 59 or 58 cores on it. You know, so literally you build up your own server.
Well,
That's low power, so you don't have to have lots of air conditioning to keep it cool.
these days on a server, you don't even need cores. A core is, why do you need a core? You use a virtual machine.
Well, that's what this is.
Well, no, a core is not a virtual machine. It's a core. This is not a virtual machine. This is not a virtual machine.
Virtual machine, based off what?
Most virtual machines that I know about are running on Intel hardware. Most VMware, I can't remember, VirtualBox, Oracle, Microsoft also has theirs. I can't remember what Microsoft's virtual machine is called. These are the big things for servers, is everything's virtual. That you open up a virtual machine, throw stuff at it, and it runs.
Right, that's basically what I was talking about, because some guy told me, he said, oh, I want to go with the cloud.
Yes, that's cloud.
Okay, why would I want to go with the cloud? And there's something that happens, and I can't.
Why do you need to get to it?
Why?
Yes,
Logging in.
I can log into anything in the cloud.
Right.
If I know the password, if I know how. Well, things always go wrong.
That was what I was thinking you say. If I know the password,
Yes.
has all these years of security indoctrination not taught you anything? Sorry.
What I'm saying is, you know, the internet is not infallible. We had,
Neither is hardware.
true,
Neither is hardware. And when hardware goes down, it costs you a lot more than a virtual machine going down.
right. But, the reason I'm saying is, if you live in an urban area, okay, that's fine. I'd like to live in a rural area.
I think I would still put most everything in the cloud, except for where I can't. There are things.
Federal government will fix that.
Yes. There are some things I can't do with a virtual machine. Right now, doing Windows on a virtual machine is asking for pain. Yes, and doing Linux in a virtual machine is.
That's what I'm saying, you know, because I'd like to be in a rural area that I basically, if I can be booted off the grid real easily,
Mhm.
I'd like to be able to be self-sufficient such that I can do my astronomy that I want.
Yeah.
I can have my computation engine, you know, keep my house warm.
If you need to touch hardware, if you need to touch the real world, you can't use a virtual machine.
That's why I like to be able to have it there. So that,
Yeah.
for whatever reason,
That's what these boxes are for. That's what these toys are for. That's what a Raspberry Pi is for, is when you want to touch the real world.
yeah. I still would like to be able to do observational astronomy. I still want to do astrophysics, you know, off the stars and things like that, which can be computationally intensive.
And then you go to the cloud.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is that right in the middle of putting in the cloud, that happens.
Well, so does the hardware, in my experience.
But have more of these that have hardware failures.
Yeah. I guess I tend to be, it's why I hate hardware, and I love it. I hate hardware.
That's how I'm able to significantly afford.
Correct. I have worked on hardware for close to 40 years. And I like hardware, but I hate it too. It will go down. And I think the cloud is more reliable.
Well, yeah, but I just have the idea, you know, hostage. You know, I don't like the personal data being held on the cloud that all of a sudden, oh, we can't get to your stuff.
Yes. And
Why?
that is happening more and more. having your data for ransom. It just happened to a site. Great. Shut down a porn site.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's.
When you buy my company's side, because you have your machines. So I work for a company called Nutanix, and it is, so the idea is you guys can go to the cloud, or you can buy your own machines instead of your own sort of cloud, right? You run your own virtual machines. So you have your own data, right? You got your own network.
Right. I'm running virtual machines, mostly Jenkins. Jenkins is all virtual machines, except for my test box.
See, now, again, that's what I'm doing with Jenkins.
Yeah.
Because in my office, I have a PC running Jenkins.
Yep.
But to get to it, we go roundabout. I don't go directly to the machine. I just go.
You go through the web.
I just log into the company's.
Correct. Correct. And that's a cloud.
Yeah. It's where I want to do.
Yep.
You know, I finally got a green ball.
Oh, you got a green.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The only problem is I'm having difficulty with word space.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not that I don't like it. I think it's a pretty good idea. It's just,
It can be difficult. It took me all day yesterday and a little bit the day before to figure out that I have to remove the S from HTTP.
serious. It's really great.
Yeah.
Because you can interact with any source control software.
Yeah.
Say, okay, I want to run the regression test on stuff that's getting ready to be checked in. You know, and Windows is grabs the latest and puts your stuff on top, merges it. So, okay, run the regression test. You either get this or you get this.
Right. Right. Now mine turn blue when they're successful. The default is blue.
I got a lot of red, but, you know.
I get red all the time.
The software is so cool.
Yeah, yes, I didn't get a blue yesterday when I left, but I did find out I couldn't do an HTTPS to my repository because it couldn't do the SSL. The SSL was screwed up somehow. And on this box, no, on the other box. But
Basically, it's not that you and I do the same thing, just that I have a gigantic old desktop as my regression tester.
and I have,
Yours is, sit between butt cheeks.
well, yeah, I want them small. My tester includes that, a J-Link flasher, and a CC debugger, because I got Bluetooth, and a hub, and the actual hardware. So that's the box. Works great. Maybe. But anyways, that's it. Any other questions? Fine. Yep. I wasted some time.
I appreciate that.
Yes, because aren't we going munchies?
Yeah, we're going to lunch.
Yeah, it's 11:22.
Just because well, I have to shut down Windows.
That's a thing.
That is a thing with Windows. And I have to wait for the blue circle to go away.
Thank God for dittos, because dittos.
Oh, we need to tell the folks that we're going away. We're going to lunch, folks. We'll be back.